everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we have a double unboxing. So today is probably going to be a pretty quick video. Presley has a dentist appointment tomorrow where he is having some sedation to do everything, partly because they don't want him to be traumatized from the dentist, but also because getting him to cooperate when you have to do x-rays and things and his mouth is small and he has a gag reflex is not fun. So that's what we're doing tomorrow, and that means today is all about like prepping and things, but also this is a brand new experience for me and I have no idea what to expect, so my mind is just everywhere. So we're going to be doing an easier type of video today so that I can get it filmed and edited and everything for you all. So basically we have two boxes here. One is Evernight and one is Afterlight. They are now shipping from the United States, so I think I'm going to have to get all of the like artists and things that did the book versions off of my email because there's no paper in here anymore. But these are going to be special edition books for July. These are all the July ones. They came in at the very beginning of August. So that's what we're going to do today. I think we're just going to start from the top down and do that. So Evernight, all you can really see is brown paper. It's in plastic wrap. Okay, so the book that we have is The Library at Hellebore by Cassandra Khaw. Very shiny, but so this is obviously going to be our new cover. It looked completely different before. This is interesting because it's like a lot of stuff going on at once, but it's weird in the way that we have like lots of teeth and claws and claw marks and eyeballs. And these are supposed to be doors, it looks like, because we have like the handles and stuff. So like very interesting. Here we do have our edges, which is more in line with like the original cover. We have the like figs and things, but I guess we have like the fig hornets and stuff. Like, you guys know how figs are supposed to actually be done. Like, they're not vegan because they have bugs in them. But very interesting, and it goes all the way around. Here on the back is like a very ominous, what, like hallway type of thing at the library. Like the fact that it looks like it goes on forever to what I'm assuming is maybe these sort of doors. I don't know, like a deer skull, like very creepy and weird. Besides that though, this reminds me of like the library, like the Trinity College Library in Dublin, like with the statues and stuff. Like that's what it reminds me of. Okay, so let's look underneath the dust jacket. Okay, very creepy, like very creepy. I don't know much about this, but very creepy. Okay. This is still creepy, even though this is obviously a little bit more grotesque in a way. Okay, yeah. Interesting. And then we have our Endpapers. I'm not too sure what to make of this. The art style is a little bit more sketchy, and so it's a little bit more, I don't know, vague in a way for me, but I definitely see a lot of like blood and gore, so that is there for sure. And then the other Endpapers. Some sort of dead skeletal body, and again, maybe the hornets or flies. These look more like flies to me. Again, very weird, very grotesque. This does actually look like it is signed on that page there. And then now I will say, I've read one other book by Cassandra Khaw, which was Nothing But Blackened Teeth. And I wanted a little bit more from it. I don't think it was necessarily bad. It was another one like this. Like, I feel like this is going to be another sort of novella-sized book. This one is 286-ish. So maybe a little bit bigger in a way. But it was a very good like premise, very like ghost story, I think Japanese-esque. And I just wanted a little bit more from it. So this is one that I have been interested in. And because it was already as a special edition through Evernight, I was like, you know what? we're gonna get this and see, because I did want to give them another try. Like, I feel like in my review for Nothing But Black and Teeth, I mentioned that I was very curious to see where this author was gonna go, because I want to say that was their debut. I could be mistaken, but I wanted to see, like, later in the future where we were going to go with the stories. And so this one says, the Hellebore Technical Institute for the Gifted is the premier academy for the dangerously powerful, the Antichrists and Ragnaroks, the World Eaters and Apocalypse Makers. Hellebore promises redemption, acceptance, and a normal life after graduation. At least that's what Alessa Lee is told when she's kidnapped and forcibly enrolled. But there's more to Hellebore than meets the eye. On graduation day, the faculty go on a ravenous rampage, and only Alessa and a group of her classmates escape the carnage. Trapped in the school's library, they barter for their survival, one sacrifice at a time. With the faculty breaking down the door, Alessa and her fellow destroyers must form one last desperate pact against obliteration. Okay, definitely not just like dark academia. Obviously this is set in a school setting, but like in a very dark, I'm gonna say gruesome way. Again, very curious about this one. Okay, and then obviously this will be on a lighter note because Afterlight is the romance subscription. That's what we're gonna have in here, but again, all we can see is the paper squiggles. Okay, let's see. Okay. Here's what we have here. It is again in plastic wrap. Let's take that out. Okay, this is a very, very different vibe, obviously. I feel like this is even a very different vibe than what the original cover was. This feels definitely more cowboy, which I think is correct. This is a cowboy romance type of thing. This is obviously going to be Love is a War Song by Danica Nava. I've been very curious about Danica Nava's works. I actually picked up the first book that she did, The Truth According to Ember, earlier this year. Have not read them yet, but I definitely need to. I love this sort of like pinky sunset or sunrise vibes on here. And then we have like a very floral, I don't know, this feels like flower child energy in a way. Just because like the color scheme as well on those edges, it's going to be the same top and bottom. And then on the back, we have some like horses here in the pasture. Very cute. Okay. Going underneath our dust jacket, here is what the book looks like. I sort of love this. It's like almost like a map on the cover. So we have it as the Red Fox Ranch in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And like as you go across, we have like the little roads and things. So on the front, we had Lucas's house with the different stuff, Lucas's trailer, Davy's trailer, Red's trailer. The back is Lottie's house. So again, I just think it's sort of cute that we have that on there. Going in, here is our first end paper. Very adorable. And then we also have the second one. On the back of our book, we do have like a quote on here. It says, "Love is not a perfect melody that only happens when all the right notes and rhythms present themselves. Love is a war song, a battle cry, something to fight for." Okay, I actually really, really like that. And it looks like this one is actually signed as well. And then going into our summary here, pop star Avery Fox has become a national joke after a misjudged photo shoot completely backfires. The shoot has turned her into a social pariah and the internet has dubbed her a fake. With threats coming from every direction and her career in flames, she escapes to her estranged grandmother Lottie's ranch in Oklahoma. It's interesting, this summary doesn't say why, but I remember in the summary that I read on Goodreads, I want to say, because I've talked about this in like my books I want to read, like anticipated releases thing. The photo shoot is because she is a Native American indigenous singer and she is in a war bonnet on a cover of a magazine, I'm pretty sure. And then people are accusing her of being a fake, like I guess maybe not being Native American or indigenous because of that. Let's continue. Red Fox Ranch has been home to Lucas Iron Eyes since he was 16 years old. He has lived by 3 rules to keep himself out of trouble. 1, preserve the culture. 2, respect the horses. And 3, stick to himself. When he is tasked with picking up Lottie's granddaughter at the bus station, the last person he expected to see is the Avery Fox. Lucas can't stand what she represents, but when he's forced to work with her on the ranch, he suddenly can't seem to get her out of his head. It's clear Avery doesn't belong there, but with the ranch's survival at risk, Avery and Lucas are forced to form a tentative truce and make a deal. Avery will help raise funds to save the ranch, and in exchange, Lucas will show her what it really means to be an Indian. It's purely transactional, absolutely no horsing around. but where's the fun in that? I am very, very excited for this. Like I said, I've also purchased the author's other book that I'm also very excited for. I love the idea of these more rom-com, I'm pretty sure is what they are sort of billed as, type of stories that are obviously going to be sort of own voices because the author is native as well. I am very excited. So yeah, these are the two that we have. I love the size difference of these. Like all the Afterlight ones seem to come in this, like, what is it, the B size format, like the romance hardcovers, but they're in a smaller size. And then this one, like I said, is going to be more novella length. I'm very curious. I've been in a reading slump recently, and so I'm not going to be reading them in this video because I need this video to go up because of all the other stuff we have going on with the dentist stuff, but I'm thinking maybe I should be picking one of these up this month. I don't know which one I'm leaning more towards right now, but like at the same time, they're sort of calling my name, probably because they're new. Let me know if there's a preference that you have for me to read down below, but I think I'm going to be picking one of those up soon. And so that is going to be it for me today. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so I will see you then. Bye!